The establishment of the Bruce Colony in 1871 led to the growth and development of the city of Creighton. In 1874, a charter was obtained in order to plat what is now our mile-long Main Street on the north side of the street. Others believe the town was named after John Creighton, after whom Creighton University was named, while others believe the town was named after Edward Creighton. The explanation, the Creighton family of Omaha, is the one that makes the most sense. In those early years, the most important foods and supplies were brought to Yankton from West Point or Yankton by wagon. The journey took place primarily in the winter, when the rivers were frozen over and could be traversed more easily. Bazile Mills, located to the north, was brought to the brink of oblivion as a direct consequence of the arrival of the railroad in 1881, which ensured the continued existence of Creighton. The subsequent year saw the widening of Main Street, the construction of new additions to the existing town, and the filing of official incorporation papers. Dr. George Roberts was the founder of a medical center that operated successfully until the year 1920. In 1953, following a period of 33 years in which Knox County did not have a hospital, the Lundberg family and other concerned citizens constructed a contemporary hospital. This facility is currently the only hospital in Knox County. The devastating blizzard that occurred in 1888 gave rise to a great number of stories about the human capacity for bravery and endurance. In more recent times, the winter of 1948 to 1949 in northeast Nebraska, which began with a blizzard in November, brought a resignation to the significance of the weather in that region. In 1889, the same year that a fire swept through an entire block of the commercial district, a newspaper was first published. Because of this, a one-of-a-kind system that drew water straight from Bazile Creek and stored it in a wooden tower so that it could be used for fire protection was installed as a result. A volunteer fire department was established in 1894, and it continues to this day to be one of the most well-equipped departments protecting the city, despite its smaller size. In the year 1890, Fred Largen and Andy Schneider were the first people to operate a commercial electric service. Later on, Largen began manufacturing a variety of different products, including deep fryers, irrigation sprinkler nozzles, and motion picture projectors. Creighton Bottling Works also began producing soda pop around this time. MC Tyson and Mr. Deal were the ones who first set up the telephone service in 1899. Beginning in Norfolk, Northwestern Bell constructed long-distance lines. In 1907, the same year that Creighton was elevated to the status of a city of the second class, a two-story brick school was constructed in the southern portion of the city. Up until 1913, when a brand new water system was put in place, domestic water was a source of contention. A public library that was established in 1914 was succeeded in the 1960s by a library that was funded by a donation from the Hengstler family. The city offices and a large number of public functions are still housed in a municipal hall that was constructed in 1916. The end of the war that was supposed to be the war to end all wars led to significant population growth in the town. 1923 was the year that the electric power came from the interstate power system. This network is now a part of NPPD, which established its headquarters in Creighton in the year 1960. During the 1930s, it was common for financial institutions and businesses to fail. The Bank of Creighton was one of the last financial institutions in the county to shut down, and after it reorganized, it paid nearly 100% of its depositors. When the United States entered the war for a second time in 1941, our most capable soldiers answered the call to duty. Following the implementation of rural electrification and the construction of new homes and businesses, expansion occurred in the area. The Chicago and Northwestern Railway discontinued its passenger service in the 1950s, but the railroad did start offering natural gas service around this time. The city began an initiative to hard surface the streets, and at the same time, a contemporary swimming pool was constructed. In spite of the fact that it was difficult in some ways, the consolidation of schools in the 1960s was ultimately successful, and a brand new high school was officially opened the following year. The town continued to expand, reaching 1,461 residents in 1970, when it had reached its highest recorded population. There was a demand for expansion in the areas of water supply, the hospital, and the streets. Creighton University's centennial was a significant event that was commemorated with a week-long festival that included parades, a beauty pageant, and a variety of other forms of entertainment for local residents. Creighton's economy, along with that of the surrounding rural area, is subject to swings due to the fact that agriculture is the primary industry. Recently, a new market moved into our town, transforming an old building into one of the most user-friendly and convenient food retail establishments in northeast Nebraska. This event served as an illustration of the faith that our town is still a viable location.